So I started getting in shape, and I opened up a gym myself. Yeah. And one of the first things we bought was a Total Gym. Now I remember Total Gym from the direct marketing commercials with Christy Brinkley and Chuck Norris.
I remember the Christy Brinkley one quite clearly.
Yeah, I know you do. And then we broadcast live at an event a couple years back called the URSA convention. And we met a gentleman named Tom Campanaro. He is the president and CEO of Total Gym. He's in the studio. Tom, how are you, man? Good to see you.
Wow.
Woo.
What a transformation you made.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I was kind of halfway through when I saw you last time. Last time when you were on crutches, I wasn't quite here. Part of this thing, though, is because of the Challenge Athletes Foundation ride that I'm doing. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Next Friday, we leave to go to San Francisco, the whole crew, and I'm riding from San Francisco to San Diego, 620 miles in 7 days with 100 other riders, and about 30 of them without legs, arms,
some blind.
prosthetic limbs, some blinds. Yeah, it's an amazing thing. In fact, you can go to our website, bigbizshow.com, and donate if you'd like. There's a banner called the $1 Million Challenge. That's what got me into it. Tom, you've been in fitness for a long time, and if I'm not mistaken, you got into it from a motorcycle accident, didn't you?
Yeah, when I was 16.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Oof, the motorcycle.
No, just about getting into fitness. No, we don't want to talk about your motorcycle.
I want
it.
But
getting
actually,
into
I was into fitness before the motorcycle accident. That's what really saved my life. Otherwise, I would have been out of here a long time ago. So, but what got me into the fitness business was coming out of that accident. I started building equipment in my garage because I got into bodybuilding at the time when you really didn't tell anybody you were in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You did it for your own benefits. And then in 1974, I saw a very simple concept built out of wood, which ended up being a Total Gym.
No
we
kidding.
named it the Total Gym.
No, for our radio audience, the Total Gym is the gym that looks like it's kind of on a ramp, and you use pulleys. The TV audience can see it in motion right now.
It really looks like a door tipped over there, and
it's actually an adjustable incline plane.
There you go.
Which is calibrated to gravity. So as you make the incline steeper, it's like walking up a steeper hill. But the cool functionality of it is that dynamic glide board with you sitting on it. You now take your body weight and you become the resistance. But you can manipulate that by the incline.
And by the fulcrum of that incline makes it harder or easier.
And then by just changing your body position, you change the hundreds of different
Pretty
exercises.
simple. And how many exercises can you do that thing?
Yeah, more than 200.
I was going to say,
it's
gotta be. I rehabbed my knee after knee surgery on that thing, and it's amazing. Talk to us about the company. You guys, you invented this product. How did it become from the garage to what we see today?
What was interesting, in 1974, we would show this to people, and they would just go, well, where's the weights? I mean, I grew up with weights moving up and down. There's no weights here. How do you do this?
Yeah,
you're the weight.
Exactly, but they couldn't grasp that because visually, weights moving got you fit. Not you moving. But it's a very simple concept. We had to relate that really to gymnastics, because if you look at a gymnast, the gymnast is using his body weight. He's pulling it through a range of motion. He's stretching and flexing, and look at the body a gymnast has. And that's basically the translation of the Total Gym. It's more of a gymnastic, stretching, flexion, strength building type of a workout. So for 20 years, we promoted this concept, but we were really 20 years behind the curve. The functional.
Why do you say that?
Well, because in 1983 there started to be a paradigm shift away from fixed plane. The Nautilus machines. Yeah, fixed plane weightlifting exercises, more into functional body weight exercises. In fact, where that paradigm shift started was in the rehab market, because they started to figure that you can't just rehabilitate a knee if that's the knee. What if it's the gait problem? What if your back's being caused by something else? So they looked at the body from a chain reaction, and they discovered the fact that they had to look at it more holistically. And unfortunately for us, again, this is something that we were just blessed with. The Total Gym just fell right into that platform, being a functional, calibrated gravity body weight resistance device with literally unlimited amount of potential for the rehab professional or the athletic trainer to apply it to an athlete or an injured person.
Can you bulk up on that machine? I mean, if you wanted
if you wanted to get big, you could.
Well, sure. I mean,
just the
if you're a
repetition
200-pounder and you're dealing with 40–50% of your body weight, you're not going to be doing curls with that or presses with that. So sure you can. It's the methodology of training, not necessarily the weight.
That's why there's so many. You're saying so many different exercises, because one will be just for repetition.
When you started this, did you start off selling one machine at a time? Was that the idea?
Door to door.
Oh, no kidding.
Well, you know what we did? In our phenomenal experience with marketing, which was about zero, we figured out something really early on. One, if we got people on it, if they were professional people with a charge card that could make a decision, that we could sell them, and that was the professional guy.
So you wanted to get to the decision maker, and you had to be able to demonstrate it.
And we did it at trade shows.
And you did it at trade shows. Oh, no,
so
kidding. So people are watching. You had an active audience.
Sure. American bankers, realtors, doctors, lawyers.
So you didn't go to fitness. You went to all trade shows. You didn't just go to fitness trade shows?
No, we went to professional trade shows.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And the reason, think about it, at the time,
that's a great idea. That's amazing.
80% of professional people have low back problems. So we would get them on there. We'd stretch them out. And the first thing we go, that feels so good.
Sure. Tom Campanaro is our guest, by the way. He's the president and CEO of Total Gym. You found that. I want to ask you about this. So at some point, success catches up with you and you decide that you have more orders than you have money to produce. I got to believe at some point. How did you raise your first amount of money? Was it friends and family? Was it your credit card? Was it just...
My dad sold my 66 Corvette Stingray.
So you sold your 66?
I didn't sell it. I would have never sold it.
Dad, can I borrow some money? Yeah, sure. Let's sell
I got you $3,000. Like, you did what?
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, we did.
Yeah.
So we've really never gone public. I stayed away from it.
That's interesting. No, because some people would say the path to liquidity would be to have somebody come acquire you or to get make your stock worth currency.
Sure.
A lot of companies have stayed the course and been private. Gosh, SAIC is one that stayed private. UPS stayed private till just like 3 years ago.
Yep.
What makes it, as a CEO of a company your size, with your success, what makes you not take that next step, or what makes you tempted to take that step?
Well, I guess I could put it in two categories. One, I really didn't know that much about it. Okay. Number one. Number two, I've always had a passion to be involved in the product. And I've
want to lose a range.
I've seen too many guys. They come along, they sell out, they make their 10 or 20 million, and they've lost their mission in life.
Steve Jobs, ousted out of Apple in 1985, got back. But you don't hear that very often.
No,
where he gets knocked out and comes back in. That's a great story. Of course, the product is iconic. It's one of those things. By the way, you can go to totalgym.com if you don't know what we're talking about. I can't imagine. It's almost one of those things like Kleenex. Everyone has seen this. How many have you sold to date? Can you say that number out loud?
Yeah, sure. And I think we're approaching 5 million.
You can buy that back.
You can buy that car back.
If we look at everything, if we look at rehab, commercial fitness, consumer, the mass market worldwide, But think of that. Scratch the surface. I mean, there's 83 million homes, 300 million people.
I get it, but that's still, you guys are doing it. Stay right there.
When you were going door to door, you see a fat guy open the door, you're like, oh, bingo, right here.
That's what you need.
Do you need exercise?
Tom Campanaro is his name. He's the founder, president, and CEO of Total Gym. We're going to talk to him. We're also going to talk to him about his unique marketing approach that he introduced into this space just a few years ago. The reason you and I know about this thing. Russ and Sully on the Big Biz Show, bigbizshow.com. More with Tom Campanaro and Total Gym, totalgym.com. Back after the break. Stand by.
Total.
Tom Campanaro is with us. He is the founder of Total Gym. And I would say, truly, Total Gym is one of the main reasons it changed my life. I got to show you that. I've never pulled these out on TV before.
Good.
This is not the largest pair of pants that I have.
Might go dark in here.
This is not the biggest pair of pants.
Oh, guacamole.
This is not the biggest pair of pants I own. Okay?
Good God.
If you can...
Caribbean Joe, you could fit one of the Caribbean islands in those pants.
If you can, there you go. It's almost two of me right there.
St. Kitts could go in there.
This is the scary part. If you hold them up this way, that tells you how. Thank you, folks. This is not the biggest pair of pants I own, but I keep them in my car, Tom, and I'm not kidding when I tell you that in no small part was because of the Total Gym. That's one of the reasons why I don't know if you remember us running up to you like you were Elvis when you at that first convention about 3 years ago. Hey, that's the guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about your marketing. Sure. We all know you because of, I think at first I know you because of Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley.
Yeah.
And I don't want to call it an infomercial because I think infomercial gives it bad connotation. It was more of a TV program to me.
It's had to be one of the first ones.
I think it was one of the first.
No,
ones.
it's not the first one, but it's
pretty dang close.
The longest running.
Okay.
We have the record right now in that arena being on TV 700 consecutive weeks.
Yeah,
but I can tell you, it's because of Chuck Norris, a phenomenal guy. I've known him for 30-some years.
We got to get him in here too.
Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah.
Awesome. He has, there's a guy at the peak of his career would not be endorsing something he didn't believe in.
No, he's used it for...
This isn't like Andy Williams coming in at 85 years old and saying, I'm going to endorse this. This guy was at the peak of his career when he was
just at his ranch in Texas last week.
Cool.
Very active user.
Yeah.
Every morning, it was Total Gym.
Yeah, right. What made you decide at what point to say I'm going to go this route? Because it was not tested at the time, and that was kind of a newfangled thing that you guys.
Well, there was a lot of success on TV, but what we found out real early on was there wasn't a lot of integrity of what was on TV. It pretty much was low end, high margin, quick hit, in and out, 2-3 years,
2 in the morning,
and we did not want to go that route. But fortunately, we were blessed with getting to know a company back in Philadelphia, company owned, actually started way back when with the first 90-second commercials.
Yeah, right.
Actually, they pioneered that. We showed them our vision and our mission. And remember, we talked earlier about that paradigm shift.
Yeah.
What that paradigm shift showed us in the early 80s to mid 80s was functional training was coming.
Yeah.
And we said, if we can start talking that way, we will make the total gym last 15 or 20 years. And of course, when they stopped laughing, they said, Tom, how many people have sat here telling us this? You'll be, if we're wildly successful, it'll be 3 years.
Those guys aren't around anymore, but
they still are.
Oh, that's good.
And they're totally focused on that product.
30 seconds or less, because we're out of time.
Sure.
What new stuff do you guys have coming?
We got a whole new product line.
Okay.
Some really cool things. The board articulates now, so you can actually move that.
Can we
board
come over and bring the camera crew and use it? And,
absolutely.
We need to come over there.
We'll put a workout together.
Tom Campanaro is now our new fitness expert on the Big Biz Show.
There you go.
Do you have anything
like
it, buddy?
Gazelle over there, like that one guy?
Like some moron.
Tony.